Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here today. This is your one-stop shop for cryptocurrency analysis, among many other things. Now, I am here to help talk to you a little bit about Avalanche, AVAX, really cool coin. Covered it in the past, and it's doing some things here today, making some moves. I just want to make sure to cover this, of course, more so because I got a request from my patron, Ashraf. So thank you so much for requesting I cover this. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But again, thank you very much. Really do appreciate all my patrons. Most of my videos that I make are for them, of course, because they are valued members, and I want to make sure that I always keep you up to date and relevant with the charts, and make sure we all make informed decisions. Because if you're new to the channel, I actually have a signal group where I send out signals for every single trade that I take personally, and I share that with my community members as well as best practice, profit targets, entry targets, trailing stop. It's all there. And what's really cool too is we actually have Cornix as a trading bot now that I have in the channel as well. So you can just one-click follow and have a good time. Make it really simple for you. And I do trend about 80-85% success rate right now at this point in time. So really cool stuff. Become a member if you'd like. Check it out. Now's the best time to do it because you're closer to the beginning of the month. Regardless, I have a video on that if you'd like to reference the link in the description below. Check that out. I help educate you on what you'd be getting into if you decide to move forward with that. That's not why we're here. We're here to go ahead and analyze the charts. So let's go ahead and take it out. Take a look. Oh, I'm so sorry. Before we do, I need to make sure to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Got a little bit ahead of myself there, but just know you're in good hands here. But I can tell you though that in my 15 years of trading, I like to recommend that you analyze as much as you can and find a trading style that works best for you. What I mean is that it's important to not take what I say as gospel. Take as much as you can from everyone else and develop your own trading habits, your own trading style. We all have different risk tolerances, and I'm a little bit more conservative. I take profits when I can. I'm not a diamond hand holder, if that makes sense. And that's okay if you are. Just make sure that you learn what you can from as many people as possible. That's how I got here today, is just learning vicariously through others. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Really important to think about that. All right, without further ado, let's jump in the charts. Let's get to it. All right, folks, let's go and take a look here at Avalanche. And just before we do, we always look at Bitcoin and Ethereum first, get a quick understanding of what's going on in the market, because I think you've probably figured this out by now. Bitcoin controls the market, right? So there's no other way around it. Now, some coins move more independent or, concurrent, but we'll figure that out here, of course. That's why we look at it. And then furthermore, too, we look at Ethereum because a lot of coins are on the ERC20 blockchain. So just something to pay attention to, okay? So let's take a look here. First of all, I use TradingView.com desktop application. So if you're not familiar with it, I have a link in the description below for a free month. See if you like it. Try it before you buy it. But I always use two indicators on every single time frame. So for me, instead of enabling and disabling them, I choose the paid versions just based on the fact that I do this every single day. But for the most part, I can tell you that it's much more beneficial to have a paid version because you don't have to keep enabling, disabling. It really only gives you two indicators present at any given time. Again, great software, but the free version is a little limited. All right, check that out. Let me know your thoughts. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. 4-hour chart. All right, so this is kind of where we're at here. So for 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, we are up above the 250-day simple moving average. Awesome news. It's now considered support levels. 46,800 is now major support. It was previously a resistance level. Therefore, we can count on that being a good place to bounce. So, me personally, if I were to consider taking entry on Bitcoin, I would wait for the price to come closer to 46,800, take my position, get out at 47, 40, maybe 48,000, 49,000, 50,000. Either way, those are just different little things that I do personally. Those are the signals that I send to my patrons. By the way, check that out in the description below if you get a chance. Really cool option to be able to, help kind of take the same trades that I take, right? Regardless, Bitcoin is doing very well right now. It's obvious. There's no other way around it. We had a strong day yesterday. That's from the news from Friday because Bitcoin is no longer going to be scrutinized. Well, correction, it's always going to be scrutinized. Apologize for that. But it's not considered to be an issue anymore as far as right now. The government doesn't want to ban crypto. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to spit that out. That's what's going on. It's not trying to ban crypto. There's also no government shutdown. So some really good news that caused the price to kind of shoot straight up. And this whole 2 or 3 weeks worth of downplay was just kind of just a lot of uncertainty and knowing what's going to happen next because of the major retracement we had recently. So we're back on business. In other words, we got a major resistance here at about 48,600. So that's kind of the tentative resistance there. It's not super strong. It was only tested a couple times previously, but I think it'll probably stay within the channel of 46.8 and 48.6. Okay. But all in all, very good things here for Bitcoin. Moving on to Ethereum. We've got the price continuing to increase here, so Ethereum's definitely going on a tear here. It's about 34.40 right now. But we do have a major support level about 3,200 and a resistance there. I just marked this earlier today, 36.35. That's pretty much just, it was tested about four 4-hour candlesticks, so in other words, about 16 hours in a row. Roughly one day it got rejected right there, which is pretty strong, all things considered. But good news is here, the 200 was working as a resistance. It's now broken above and holding as a support. We're 1 hour into this trading period here, this 4-hour trading cycle, or candle rather. Then basically we're looking really good. In other words, that closed above and we're still progressing upwards. So Ethereum's definitely making some moves right now. It's really cool. So a lot of us Ethereum holders getting back on track. Just know, again, strong support about 3,200. Moving on to Avalanche. Let's take a look here at the one-day chart, see what's going on. And as we can see, it made some moves, fairly recent. So it got beat down, obviously, back May 19th. I mean, pretty much everything did. But it was holding kind of its average true range about 25 to 40, roughly. And it got pushed all the way down to somewhere in the range of $9.51. My goodness, that would have been an awesome entry point. Hopefully some of you are still holding your position. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, if you got in somewhere during the Great Depression here in this range, then yeah, you're going to be looking pretty good right now because Avalanche just tearing it up right now. So what we want to look at, of course, is, well, first of all, it passed its previous all-time high, right? That's neither here nor there. We know that. So what we want to look at here is probably shorter time frames to kind of identify support and resistance levels. We can see one right here where we had a pretty strong support and resistance, or more so support level here at about 61. So 61.50 plus or minus is a pretty strong support. So the price comes back down, we can expect it to kind of bounce off of that. Spend a lot of time right there essentially. And of course we got a resistance level here upwards of about, what is that, 76.50. Okay. So 61.50 to 76.50. It's kind of the channel that we're in right now for Avalanche. So if it does break above this resistance level here, again, it has to break above and close above on the one-day chart specifically, then that will be considered a support level and we'll start seeing some new all-time highs being created. Where it's going to go from there, it's hard to say specifically, but I can tell you there's some strong fundamentals here. Definitely do your own research there. This is just a technical analysis, but that's really factoring into this, okay? And as you can kind of see here previously as well, see how it ramped up and then it went sideways for a while, ramped up, and then this going sideways now. So there is a chance that Avalanche will continue to progress sideways, but we don't technically know that yet until we get there. So bottom line, we want to work within the channel that we're given here. So between this range is kind of what we're going to be focusing on. We've got a potential MACD convergence coming up here, so we may see that converge in the next couple of days. But good news is here, the RSI is up over 50 and under 70. So that's kind of working itself into a nice progression there. We like to see that on the one-day chart because in case you didn't know this, the 50 is kind of just kind of like an invisible support level. It's, if you can see, the price either stays above or below. So right now we're in that bullish convergence above the above 50 in RSI. Of course, it has been for some time, but what's cool is the price ramped up, of course, and got a chance to calm back down. So it's not overextended, right? We're not over 70. That's a very good sign. So all in all, still plenty of room for growth for Avalanche here. I'm venturing to guess, based on just the one-day chart alone, we will see it test its all-time high here very soon. So just be prepared for that. I think that is a likelihood. So looking at the 4-hour chart, we're up over the 50-day simple moving average now, which is awesome. And the 200 is trailing behind. So what's nice about this is right where about 61.50 the support level is, the moving average, by the time, just say the price were to retrace back down, by the time the price gets back down to that, if it were to, we'd have that secondary support of the 200-day simple moving average driving the price up again. So keep that in mind. There's a good chance we've got like two major support levels here that are soon to kind of coalesce, and that will give us very good positioning, if you will. In other words, a good safety net. I don't think we'll need it, honestly, just based on what I see here so far with Bitcoin coming back alive. I think Avalanche is going to take off, because if you see what Avalanche did previously when Bitcoin recovered from its sub 30,000 craziness, Avalanche has done some pretty awesome things since then. Okay. So it's making up for that lost time, so to speak, where it was so low for so long. And what's great now too is it's actually a large market cap coin. It's getting a lot of volume, and it never used to have that. And that extreme shift in volume causes the altcoin season to kind of ramp up, if you will. So if you don't know this, the 4-year cycle, basically altcoin season, it starts with Ethereum becoming more independent of Bitcoin. Now, granted, it's not doing that exactly right now. Yes, today maybe a little bit, but in general, we saw 2 major increases. Earlier, I think it was in May, just after or maybe it was April, just after the first retracement, and then again here recently after the major retracement from the China candle. So in other words, Ethereum is the first thing to go, and the second thing to go is the large market cap coins. And when I say go, I mean that they actually take off, they start becoming parabolic. So we see that with Solana, we saw that with ADA, BNB is getting ready to ramp up again too. All those are just strong coins, large market cap coins that are going to take off. And then the tertiary signal essentially is the low to mid market cap coins. We're seeing some of those actually starting to ramp up now too. So we're right at this, we're at the calm before the storm, and I think we're going to start seeing some pretty interesting stuff soon. So October is going to be a great month, and I think it's pretty safe to say that Avalanche is going to break its previous all-time high probably before the month is over. I mean, it probably could, it literally could be a couple of hours, honestly, at this rate. But just to be safe, I would say before October is finished, I'm confident that this will be a support level, and it'll be a thing of the past. We'll be well above 76. Either way, neither here nor there. That's enough rambling on that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the Ishimoku cloud. Let's take a quick look here. No surprise, we're well above the cloud. We've been so for a little while. In fact, it worked as a support level, kind of bounced off. So just keep in mind that the cloud, when the price is above the cloud, is considered a buy signal. Below, it's considered a sell signal, and it's important to always kind of try to respect the cloud. And if you're new to the channel, just a quick heads up: when you enable the cloud, it's going to have a lot of different squiggly lines that don't make any sense unless you know what it means. So just disable the first 5 check marks and only leave the plots background enabled, and it'll look something like, oh, whoops. I hit OK instead of cancel. It looks something like this. Okay. Just some friendly advice. I get that question a lot too. Okay, so yeah, so everything's looking pretty good here. Let's go ahead and take a look at TD sequential, see if we're a bit on the overextended side. We're at a 6 right now, and that is a pretty strong 6. In other words, the price jumped up pretty heavy. So just keep in mind when we get closer to a 9, there's a potential retracement. But in this example here, again, this isn't foolproof. This doesn't always happen, but it does work out more often than not. If we count up to a 9 and just say, hypothetically we get to a 9, it should retrace or consolidate then. So what I'm getting at here is the fact that we have at least 3 more hours of continuation to the upside. At least that's what we should expect, right? So just keep that in mind. That's a strong possibility we might see it continue upwards. Because again, I think Bitcoin is what? Bitcoin's pushing up right now. Yeah, Bitcoin's right about 48,000. And as Bitcoin continues to stabilize, coins like these start to take off. So once we get more stabilization, we should see the increase. Keep in mind, this is a weekend too. People are in buying mode now that we have all the craziness behind us with all the news. People are more happy and likely to invest because that fear that the FUD rating is low. I think there is actually technically a radar where basically it picks up on how much fear, uncertainty, and doubt people have as a whole in general. I don't buy into that personally, but it is definitely a thing. And now that that's kind of subsiding, people are having more confidence to kind of invest in coins like this. And I can see why, because it's definitely a good coin. So last thing I want to look at here is this is going to be kind of pretty much redundant, but we can take a look here. And actually, this isn't redundant in the sense because when we look at EMA and VWAP, first of all, we like to look at it to understand support and resistance levels, right? Because the VWAP, this is the blue line here, that's the volume weighted average price. What it's considered as is that it's basically considered a support and resistance level that's synonymous with the price, or at least the volume of the price. So let me explain. It takes the volume it takes the last 24-hour volume and expresses it as a price. Therefore, right now, based on the last 24 hours of volume for Avalanche, we should be at $68.60. The price is upward about 72. What kind of percent is that? Let's see what that is. It's about 5% difference. So that's not terrible, right? We're still we're a little bit on the overextended side, but it's still a comfortable increase, right? So we had this little period of consolidation here. We had about an hour worth of sideways action, and then it increased again. So we get another 15 to 30 minutes of sideways action. They could leg up again and continue to push and test its previous all-time high. Okay. So again, this is a very healthy, good bull run. It's not extremely overextended, but it's outside the standard deviation lines. So that basically just means that we have to see consolidation or it's going to retrace. That's the bottom line. If it doesn't consolidate and go sideways for a short while, at least another hour, I would say, then we're going to see it come back down and maybe retrace somewhere in the range of about $70. Because most consolidations, or when you most retracements, they occur 50% of the original increase, right? So if you take from bottom to top, that's 100%. You cut that in half, and you can expect to see the price kind of level out halfway down. And as we can kind of see, there's a little channel there. So let's just go ahead and mark that. I think that's probably pretty similar or synonymous with the Fibonacci retracement as well, if we were to pull that up. So go ahead and mark that there. But yeah, generally speaking, I think we're in pretty good shape here. But again, a bit on the overextended side. We need to see another hour of consolidation before it legs up. Otherwise, we can expect a retracement down back to $70. I really think that its all-time high of 76.50 is just moments away. We literally could even see that this weekend get broken. So I'm excited to see that. So I guess long story short here, for my prediction on Avalanche, it's it's an interesting mover. There's no doubt about that. This doesn't move it's not moving standard to any traditional type of currency that I normally see, which basically tells me there's strong fundamentals. And I do know there's strong fundamentals, of course, just in my own research, but do your own research there in that sense. You'll kind of find out it's really interesting, cool concept. But I think the bottom line right now is that we will see the all-time high be broken. I would say, I know I said earlier, maybe by the end of the month, but it could very well be in the next couple of days. Just bear in mind, respect this here. Most whales allow for people like you and I to invest on the weekends. They don't necessarily allow it, but they're just busy spending the money that they earned or reinvesting it, right? So what they do is they sell all their profits that come from the weekend because we drive the price up Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay. Now this doesn't happen all the time. It's not an exact science, but I would say about 80% of the time in a bull market, we should expect a retracement somewhat on Mondays or Tuesdays. Fridays in most cases as well. We just didn't see that this last Friday because we had such great news in the market that it caused the price to continue to push up. Okay, so just things to kind of be mindful of, be aware of. These are all things that I bring to the attention of my patrons. So if you're interested in maybe becoming a community member, check the link in the description below. I actually have a video to help educate you on that as well, so you know exactly what you're getting out of it. But I send signals to all my community members for every single trade that I take. We have a private chat group. We all learn and grow together. It's a really cool experience. It's been awesome for the last 3 months. I'm averaging about 84% success rate so far. And if you want to join me in that, great. If not, that's perfectly fine. Really appreciate watching the video here, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one.